a symbol of change, a commitment to a greener tomorrow. Stay tuned, because together we can plant the seeds of a sustainable future tonight at 8.
As the world warms, nature's sentinels will rise. As a billion hands will dig deep to write a new future for our planet.
Viewers, it's good to be back with you after a break, after a week's break to be precise. And let us begin by agreeing on a few facts. At the best of times, politicians are opportunistic. They will highlight issues that best suit their political interests. This isn't a bad thing by itself, but being selective, that is, speaking only when it benefits the party or an individual, cannot extend to all issues. For example, and think about it, a crime against humanity is a crime against the Constitution's letter and spirit, and it should be called out unequivocally, without fear or favor. It can't be that one human tragedy is worthy of attention and not the other. How does one, after all, distinguish between the value of one life over another? Think about that, viewers. How does one, for example, choose to only visit the victims of ethnic violence in Manipur and not the victims of political or religious violence in Chopra, West Bengal, or Udaipur, Rajasthan? That is what is being asked of the Congress party today, as it sings hosannas to Rahul Gandhi, who is on a visit to Manipur to allegedly provide a salve to the victims of rioting there. Sample this from the Congress chief spokesperson Jairam Ramesh, who has tried to turn the Congress science visit into a virtue. He says, and I quote him, "Today the non-biological Prime Minister goes to Moscow, while the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha heads for Assam in Manipur. Of course, the drumbeaters of the non-biological Prime Minister have claimed that he stopped the Russia-Ukraine war for some time. Presumably, this Moscow trip will lead to even more bizarre claims. This is Rahul Gandhi's third visit to Manipur ever since the state blew up 14 months ago. The non-biological Prime Minister has not found the time nor even had the inclination to visit Manipur, even for a few hours after the grave crisis erupted on May 3, 2023. He has not even met the Chief Minister of the state, who happens to be from his own party, and other political leaders of the state, including MLAs and members of parliament." Unquote. Now, viewers, it hasn't taken very long for the BJP to attack the Congress, to hit back at it for its alleged hypocrisy. The BJP says the ethnic conflict in Manipur is a legacy of Congress party. The state has witnessed the killing of civilians, police and army personnel for decades while Congress was in power. In 1990, 300 people were killed. 1,100 people died in 1993, 400 were killed in 1997. In 2001, 95 people died, 140 people were killed in 2003. In 2006, 105 people died, 200 people were killed in 2008. In 2010, 220 people died and 165 people died in 2012. Forget third time fail Rahul Gandhi. Did any Congress leader, including Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who was a member of the Rajya Sabha from Assam, visit the strife-torn region? Balak Buddhi is simply indulging in Sikh tragedy tourism, unquote. This, viewers, is the BJP's rebuttal. Now, without taking sides and just stating the obvious, the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has only very rarely met with victims of rights abuses or tragedies. His stand has been consistent with emphasizing relief and justice over token expressions of empathy. This, however, isn't true of the Congress. The following hard facts illustrate the point that it has demonstrated an unsavory tendency to cherry-pick tragedies to highlight. Let me run you through some of what the Congress has chosen to ignore. Now, I'm not attributing motives, viewers, but Tamil Nadu, the Hoot tragedy there, has claimed almost 70 lives. Kallakurichi is where this happened, where certain people consume spurious liquor. But viewers, the Congress party or its sign or any of its top leaders have not visited that spot. Then viewers, let's turn our attention to the public flogging in Bengal, where a woman was thrashed in public in North Dinajpur for indecent behavior. TMC MLA Hamidul Rahman defends the action, calls it a Muslim custom. Her fault was that allegedly she is a supporter of the BJP. Viewers, looking a little further, Bengal post-poll violence, several displaced after quote targeted attacks unquote post the Lok Sabha results. The Kolkata High Court directs the state government to ensure quote the safe return unquote of the displaced. Has this led to any outrage in Congress circles? Rahul Gandhi visiting Sandesh Khali or other disturbed areas, expressing empathy with the victims there, embracing some of the victims there, and castigating the state chief minister Mamata Banerjee? No, viewers, that hasn't happened. Sandesh Khali horror, sexual assault and land grab cases against TMC strongman Shahjahan Sheikh have been filed. Complaints against Shahjahan Sheikh and his aides were piling up since 2019. Yet, viewers, the Congress has never looked askance, has never empathized with any of the victims, and even now has come out and hinted that this entire issue is a concoction. Then, viewers, Karnataka temple deaths, 6 dead and 100 hospitalized due to water contamination at Tumkuru temple. No one from the Congress, viewers, especially the topmost leaders, went there and empathized, cried on the shoulder of any of the victims. Kerala ragging horror, 28-year-old student was tortured for 29 hours by seniors and classmates. When these incidents take place in BJP-ruled states, viewers, you will often find Congress leaders either visiting or being very critical. A body found hanging inside the bathroom of Wayanad College, and the list is long. What does this selective empathy say about the Congress? Is it endemic to the party? If so, why is it endemic? Some who have tried to answer this question will point to the distant past, viewers. Take, for example, the selective empathy expressed by Congress party's greatest member, Mahatma Gandhi. When the pre-independence Mofla riots in Kerala shocked the nation, Bapuji chose to blame the victims, who were the Hindus, and not the perpetrators, who were Muslims. At the time, the Congress didn't oppose Mahatma Gandhi. Dr. Ambedkar, who is, of course, the framer of our constitution, for instance, took a very unfavorable view. For him, the riots were, and I quote, indescribable, blood-curdling atrocities committed by the Moflas against the Hindus, unquote. The Congress, according to its critics, put the need to appease Muslims over the human rights of Hindus. We're talking about before independence. Are those cynical political calculations still being made by the Congress, especially in the context of Manipur and Bengal or even Tamil Nadu? Viewers, those are fundamental questions. Let's open this up for a conversation, for a debate, call it what you want. And I want to, first begin with Tehseen Poonawala. Mr. Poonawala, we have with us a panel, well-balanced panel of intelligent people. Now, I'm sure because they are all intelligent, like you, they will see through this opportunism, this rank opportunism, as I have elaborated. I'm sure you will agree with me that there is a degree of selectiveness at work here when Rahul Gandhi visits people in Manipur or shows up in Hathras for the stampede, but ignores similar acts of negligence, crimes, as I have mentioned. Would you agree with me, or would you say that I'm being highly selective myself?
Thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show. Couple of things. I am shocked and I'm appalled that the leader of opposition is being attacked on a national television. I'm actually shocked and appalled for standing by 50,000 people who have been made homeless. I'm shocked and appalled that rather than questioning the Honorable Prime Minister who's refused to go to Manipur or refused to speak the complete truth on Manipur, Rahul Gandhi is being called all sorts of names. The son of a martyr, the grandson of a martyr. We can go back into history, bring Muslims in, bring Mahatma Gandhi in, do whatever you want. I'm not going to get into it. That is everybody's own moral compass. The fact of the matter is, let's just stick to Manipur. And the fact with Manipur is the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Home Minister have failed where Manipur is concerned. Let me take you through the facts one by one. No other state in India, not even Kashmir, from where you've been a victim, Rahul, you've suffered terribly in Kashmir, has seen an influx of such kind of people where the Indian army has got up to say that the situation is out of control. The Assam Rifles has said that the situation is out of control. On May 2nd, when the Assam Rifles, CRPF, Indian serving army men who serve in CRPF, tried to enter Manipur. The Manipur Rifles, the police of the Manipur division, stopped them from entering. And they've said it on record in Britain that had we been allowed to enter, women would not have been paraded naked. To your colleague, the chief minister of Manipur has said it's not 2 women who were paraded naked, several hundred women were paraded naked. Therefore, internet was shut off so that fair journalists like you could not ask him questions. Remember, the man shut off internet so that people would not know women were being paraded naked. This is the chief minister whose tweets, and I'm saying this and I'm using these words with a lot of responsibility, his disgusting tweets had to be taken down by the PMO. PMO had to tell him to take off his tweets. The kind of tweets the man, he poured oil within fire. That is the kind of tweets the chief minister of Manipur did. The fact is he's continuously blamed Myanmar for what has happened. If Myanmar is to be blamed and it's an influx from Myanmar, what is the defense ministry and the prime minister doing? They were obviously not saying. Tell me another state, including Kashmir, including Punjab, including any other state in the northeast, where 4,675 assault weapons, including AK-47, AK-56, have been taken away. And those who have taken away have left their Aadhaar card and live ammunition. That is the state of affairs today in Manipur. The fact is the Manipur MP, despite being promised, was not allowed to speak in parliament. They didn't allow the inner line Manipur MP to make his points. Rahul Gandhi has gone there with a healing touch. Sure, every single day. Please take the pants off Rahul Gandhi. I don't care. But that man on your screen there, the leader of opposition, has gone there with a healing touch. He's gone there to bring 2 communities together. I don't expect anything from the BJP.
Okay.
But the least I expect is not to mock him or to put him down.
You've had a fairly long introduction, which is important, which is very important in the need to have a balanced conversation here. But Tehseen, Mr. Poonawalla, let me just tell you that it's not as if the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or the Chief Minister has been given some sort of free pass. Those questions have been asked. They continue to be asked. We are continuing to ask those questions. I myself, in the past, welcome the Supreme Court's observations, saying that the deprivations against women there were a matter of serious concern. So those things have been asked. And even if they, let's say, for a moment, weren't asked, does that preclude the charge that the Congress is being selective? That's the one thing you have not been able to answer. Nonetheless, it's okay.
May I make one point?
No, one second.
Just one point.
Look, we can continue to scratch at wounds.
Just one point.
For eternity.
No, I just have one point.
To derive political mileage. And you have accused and you have accused the BJP of doing so on a number of occasions, if you remember.
True.
On Kashmir, on, in fact, the Godhra as opposed to the Gujarat riots. Several times you have accused the BJP of raking up certain issues, honoring certain types of individuals because it involves direct political messaging to a particular cadre. So when that charge is put at your door, I would have expected slightly more balanced view.
I just have one thing to say. Okay, forget the Congress. I'm saying the Congress is political, is the worst political party. No, I just have one point to say. I just have one point to say. When you were in your earlier channel, and I was with you, and I remember you'd always kindly give me the space, and you still give me the space, to question the Home Minister. Why was he campaigning in Karnataka rather than being in Manipur? Let me finish. When the Home Minister went to Manipur, which is May 28th, the women who were paraded naked happened on May 4th. Yet the FIR wasn't registered until you, Rahul, took up the issue. You took it up. The Home Minister should be embarrassed.
Of course,
that happened.
you can ask all those questions, and I am not actually against Mr. Gandhi going to Manipur. It's right; he's the leader of the opposition. But let's be a little more consistent. That's how I began. I wasn't attacking the Congress or Rahul Gandhi in particular. I was just saying let's be consistent, because you can't sort of put the value of one life over the other. Anyhow. Before I come to you, Charu Pragya, let me just bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Let's then get into the politics of it. I just want to look at it from the hypocrisy angle, or whether we are right in sort of suggesting that there is an element of politics here. Dr. Ranganathan.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. There is absolutely nothing wrong in Rahul Gandhi or anybody else visiting Manipur. But the fact of the matter is that the while politicking over horrendous crimes against women must end. I think this, everyone every Indian has to realize what happened in Manipur was blood curdling. No two ways about it. The criminals must be punished. It was unacceptable that one of the perpetrators wasn't arrested for 2 months, but then is suddenly caught within a day of the video going viral, what Tessin talked about. Heads should have rolled for this. State and police inaction must be condemned wherever it happens in every state by every police. Unfortunately, this is not the case. What is the truth about Manipur? Yes, as I have said before as well, on your show multiple times, Mr. Modi should have spoken on Manipur right away when the violence started, but then so should have the Congress. Did you know it was the UPA in 2013 that asked the Manipur Congress government then to look into the demand for ST status for the Mathis, who had been demanding it since independence? The Congress did not act. Governments changed both at the center and the state, and both did not act. Then the High Court asked a couple of years ago for the government to act, and that is what led to all the violence. Inexplicably, the same High Court then redacted its demand for the action. But until then, it was too late. 2 tribes are now at loggerheads. Hundreds of churches, hundreds of temples have been burned. But of course, it is BJP's fault. The Manipur horror is being highlighted, and rightly so. But the same Congress, outraging right now, remained silent when a 35-year-old woman gang raped in Jotwala, Congress-ruled Rajasthan, self-immolated herself in police state because of police inaction. You talk about police election in Manipur, but you're silent about police election in Congress-ruled Rajasthan. Why? When NSUI General Secretary is arrested for rape after local outrage exposes police inaction in Kanker, Congress-ruled Chhattisgarh. When the NHRC takes suo motu cognizance after a Dalit woman is gang raped by 5 men after tying up her husband in Thanganji, Congress-ruled Rajasthan, and the video made viral, but the police does not take action because of elections. When the Calcutta High Court blasts the TMC-ruled Bengal government for inaction on multiple gang rape cases and castigates it for not even registering an FIR in 60% of such crimes. When a 13-year-old is gang raped in Gurdaspur, AAP-ruled Punjab, Congress-allied, and the police does not act for 6 months and allegedly even allows the perpetrator to flee the country. There are dozens of such horrendous rape cases where the state and the police did not act or conducted shoddy investigations. Are these horrors any less deserving of our outrage, I ask you? Are these victims suffering less? Did the Supreme Court take note of any of these horrendous instances? You have to understand the Congress psyche. It outrages selectively and only highlights crimes in BJP-ruled state. Fair enough. Because then you can speak truth to power and criticize Modi. What is it that the Congress leader Shiraj Jivon said during the Hathras rape incident? Quote, 2 people should die from each side. A leader should die or some common man should die. Rahul Gandhi will come to the scene only after the bullets start flying, unquote. In fact, at the time of the UP Hathras rape incident, a woman in Alwar, Congress-ruled Rajasthan, was raped and jumped in a well because police refused to act. Her father hung himself from a tree. Did you even know of this? Did Tessin even know of this? Did Justice Chandrachud know of this? He was safe from looking into the victim's father's eyes. You know why? Because the father is dead. Ultimately, what is the solution to this selectivity, Rahul? There isn't one.
There's one. And you know, Dr. Ranganathan, let me jog your memory back a little bit. I don't know if you know that the electorate has begun to see through this. You see this hypocrisy. And wherever there have been Congress-ruled state governments where there has been a collective silence, they have been punished. Now, I just want to ask you, Dr. Ranganathan, do you know how many elections from the states that the Congress ruled have they won back in the last 5 years?
None.
0. So, viewers, we're not fools sitting here. And that's why I began by saying that, look, go out there, please. All these outrages, and I began by saying that. Look, all of them must be, yes.
Rahul, just 10 seconds. I forgot. In fact, when everybody else in the Congress, outside of it, the supporters were demanding that Manipur be acted upon. Do you remember one Congress MLA stood on the assembly floor of the Assembly of Rajasthan and said, हमें अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखना चाहिए राजस्थान में क्या हो रहा है?
Yes.
You know what happened within 24 hours?
That MLA is in BJP now.
He was sacked.
He was not getting a ticket.
I'm saying.
Let's not. No. He's in BJP.
I'm
he
saying.
was not getting a ticket.
I started.
He waited for a ticket in BJP.
Okay, Mr.
Let's be clear
Poonawala.
on it.
No,
Gentlemen.
you know what then, Tessin, if that is the
Now he's
defense.
forgotten the MLA, the Lal Dairi, that MLA.
The one...
Please, yaar.
Okay, 1 second. I started and I quote myself. At the best of times, politicians are opportunists. They will highlight issues that best suit their political interests. This isn't a bad thing. But being selective, that is speaking only when it benefits the party or an individual, cannot extend to all issues. There cannot be selectiveness over outrages of the proportion that we are talking about today. Now, Dr. Raman and Charu Pragya, let me bring you in. Dr. Raman, let me just start by asking you this. Do you think that, fair enough, all victims have a right to justice, but do you believe that some have a lesser shot at it? Let me give you an example now. And I want you to tell me what you think about this. You will agree with me that Mr. Bhindranwala, Jarnail Bhindranwala, was a symbol of exclusivism. Would you agree, yes or no?
Rahul?
No, yes or no? Because I haven't finished my question. Okay, forget it. You don't want to take a position on it, but anyhow, Bhindranwala, viewers, as we all know, was a symbol of a particular kind of Sikh exclusivism. He, viewers, under his watch, enabled a pogrom against Hindus. They were pulled out of buses, shot up, lined up and shot. Now, viewers, one would think that Mr. Bhindranwala, who was really a Hitler, would have been castigated by everyone, rank and file, of every political party. Again, I'm using the word every political party, viewers. But you know what, viewers? You have a situation where a rap star, who was completely dazzled by Bhindranwala, was welcomed by the Congress party, given a ticket. That rap star is now, of course, eliminated, dead, murdered, assassinated, call it what you want. Dr. Raman, do you think that Hindu lives are anywhere lower in the hierarchy, that the Congress should have actually undignified the death of so many of them by doing this?
Rahul,
where was the Congress then outraging? I remember when certain tickets were given to to another Pragya, Sadhvi Pragya, sorry. It became a huge issue.
Rahul,
but not so here.
2-3 points, and I hope you'll allow me to speak uninterrupted,
please.
like the others were.
Yeah, of course.
The first point is you don't seem to have smelt the coffee of what the result of the general election held recently actually said.
Okay.
The second point is that Rahul Gandhi is making an earnest attempt to try and apply a healing touch to Manipur. Now, the point is, if this was a political opportunistic visit, then the governor of Manipur has met Rahul Gandhi and some of the officials have been introduced to him. So I think you've got to ask yourself the question. I mean, it is not mandatory for a governor to meet the leader of the opposition when he goes to on a visit to any particular state. But in this case, there has been a meeting with the governor. So you should probably ask the governor why she was promoting opportunistic visits of Congress leaders or leader of the opposition. Look, let's face facts. What has happened in Manipur is a national tragedy. And the sad part of it is that the Honorable Prime Minister has not felt it necessary to visit the state once. This is not a problem which has been happening for the last 1 week or 2 weeks. Over 130 people are dead, and 60,000 people are living in relief camps, displaced away from their homes. So why is it that we are seeking to politicize the visit of a leader of the opposition who is making his third visit, for God's sake?
Right.
I mean, first visit, okay, political visit, election coming up.
Can I come in now?
Yeah,
please?
Now the elections are over.
Okay, elections are over.
The Congress has won both the MP seats in Manipur.
Okay.
He is
Charu
not going
Pragya.
there for any electoral gain, for God's sake.
Okay, not for any electoral gain. Charu Pragya.
Now, I have listened to everyone very patiently for very long, and everyone's all praises for Rahul Gandhi visiting Manipur today. But tell me, if this is not political opportunism, why is it that he cannot feel the pain of the people who have suffered in the Hooch tragedy? If he can go all the way to Manipur, stopping by in Assam, by the way, why could he not visit the refugee camps where the flood victims are housed? He didn't have time for that. He landed there. So I am not going to go back into the past and year by year give you a breakup of how more than 2,700 lives have been lost in Manipur during the Congress regime. Let's talk today. he has time to go to states only and only which have a BJP government. Sandesh Khali, today we got a judgment from the Supreme Court where they are asking the state government why one individual is being shielded. Nobody has an answer to that, and Rahul Gandhi didn't even want to visit the victims of Sandesh Khali. Forget that. More recently in Chopra, women were beaten up in a very Talibani style, quoting Sharia law, and nobody wanted to speak about it, least of all Rahul Gandhi. He's very close, he could have gone there. So the fact is that while you go back to Manipur, you're only going there for political reasons, and if that was not the case, and if you played on fairness, even 1%, you would have been concerned about the atrocities on people in Rajasthan, what has happened in Tamil Nadu. In fact, in Tamil Nadu, in the last 2 months, 4 leaders have died. One of them was a Congress leader. Did we even hear a peep out of Rahul Gandhi regarding that? Absolutely not. See, the fact is the central government is working round the clock to bring this situation under control, and that is a fact. The fact is that Modi ji spoke in parliament not once but twice, and the opposition either chooses to stage a walkout or irritate the speakers to such an extent that we as viewers can barely hear what is going on. So much of heckling goes on. So
why is he not visited?
The truth is that Congress party has become one. Sir, you know, I didn't speak over you. In fact, I waited for 22 long minutes to get my first word out, and I don't understand why you don't even have the decency to let me have my 90 seconds say before you start interrupting me. I didn't interrupt you, and Rahul knows I was the last one to speak. So let me. Can I continue, please?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Do you have a problem with understanding turn by turn or basic courtesy?
It's not fair. You asked for your time, you got your time. Tehseen asked for his time, he got his. Dr. Ranganathan got his. Why shouldn't Charu Pragya also be allocated her time? Please, go ahead. Yeah.
So, apart from listing everything from Assam to Sandesh Khali to Chopra to everything in Hooch, it is very apparent now that when the government wants to answer questions for the world to hear, Congress wants to heckle. It is very obvious that the Congress wants to turn up at places where they get their 15 seconds of fame, and Rahul Gandhi leads this. I have not seen him be a part of positive politics at all, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have run away from the flood victims of Assam. And please, Tehseen, tell me one logical reason why this has happened. And let me tell you, our Home Minister, MOS Home, they have been stationed there, they have been visiting, the Chief Minister is working, and you had been asking for the Prime Minister to speak, but once the Prime Minister starts speaking, you have something else which is very urgent, and you know what the urgency is? Let's go stand outside Parliament. So that cannot be allowed to continue, and then you can't turn around and
that's
say,
a good point.
What has the BJP done?
Charu Pragya is making a good point. When you put those questions and the Prime Minister responds, you walk out. You choose not to hear. You only choose what you want to hear. You only visit those who you think will be beneficial to you in a messaging sense to visit. One second, it's very important. Today the opposition, hang on, we cannot forget the opposition tonight, because viewers, the opposition itself has tried to politicize Rahul Gandhi's visit. It's not the BJP. It was Jairam Ramesh who edified it, number one. Why should it be edified, viewers? Should sympathy, should humanity be edified, or should it come naturally to people? Should it be something that you must talk up? Or is it a virtue that should be present among politicians? These are questions. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, before...
I want to make 2 points.
Yeah, okay. You make your 2 points. One second. No, then I'll have to give her time, so I'm not going to have time. I'm just letting Dr. Ranganathan now come in and say his one bit, because I have to take a break. I'm really under pressure. I gave all of you chaps 4.5 minutes each, please. And do the math. Yes.
I didn't get 4.
No.
Well, you didn't choose to take it. What could I do? Yeah, okay.
No,
I never cut you off,
I had
sir.
plenty more to say. You stopped me.
I never stopped you. Charu Pragya, you asked her a question. She responded. Come on.
No,
Dr.
no,
Ranganathan.
no. Okay. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No, I think the reality is that the truth is making everyone else on this panel beside me and beside you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
That is true.
Prime Minister Modi should have visited Manipur.
Yeah.
Hundreds of temples have been demolished, churches have been demolished, people have been raped, people have been rendered homeless. He should have visited, number one. Number two, the Congress waxing eloquent is the most hypocritical of all. I'm not just talking about the crimes that are happening in Congress ruled state or were happening. I'm talking about Manipur itself.
Yeah.
It was the UPA that asked the then Congress government in Manipur to act. It didn't act. The BJP or at the center asked the BJP government of Manipur to act. It didn't act. And thirdly, I would like to ask Dr. Sumantraman to give him 30 seconds of my time. Does he condemn the High Court for redacting what it demanded?
Go ahead, Dr. Raman, 30 seconds, please.
Look, first of all, that order of the court was what set off, at least was the immediate provocation for what happened in Manipur. And that is a tragedy. That is a tragedy. It was subsequently
You condemn the redaction of the High Court?
Look, it is not for me to condemn the judiciary, because for obvious reasons.
No, what do you mean judiciary? Sir, enlightened criticism is not going to be objected to. It's not contempt.
I don't agree with that order, Rahul. I don't agree with the original order. Therefore, I agree that the order which came should not have come. Because of it, it served to be the last straw,
The
which
order
sort of
simply
set off
asked the
this
government to
conflagration.
give a white
But
paper
very
on
little
whether
has been
the
done.
reservation should be
Very
given.
Viewers,
little
I
has
have run
been
out of
done
time.
to
I just
kill-
want to end by saying, we cannot anymore, whether we are in the BJP or the Congress or this or that, viewers, be selective. Either you be completely blind to all outrages, don't go in a token manner and put your arms around people, or then you do it, but you do it across the board. I don't think that's asking too much. I'll take a short break, viewers. The Prime Minister is meeting the Russian President, but it's all turned into a massive political controversy back here. Why? We'll tell you all about it.